Hi, my name's James. I'm a musician and music producer, and today I'm going to be trying something new, something that I've never done before. I'm going to be starting a music and music video review series focusing on new release music and particularly the stuff that YouTube and Spotify kind of try and make you listen to. So, without further ado, let's get into our first one. So I've jumped over to YouTube's video hot list page, and up the top we have the latest release from Paramore. It is called Running Out of Time, and it features on their latest album, This Is Why, which was released February of 2023, just a couple of weeks ago. So for those of you who don't know about Paramore, who haven't heard of them, Paramore is an American rock band from Franklin, Tennessee, formed in 2004. The band currently consists of lead vocalist Hayley Williams, guitarist Taylor York, and drummer Zach Farrow. Williams and Farrow are founding members of the group, while York, a high school friend of the original lineup, joined in 2007. So the first time that I heard of Paramore was most likely around the time when the very popular movie franchise Twilight was released. But more about the band. The band is signed to Fueled by Ramen, which is a great name for a record company. Fueled by Ramen is a subsidiary of Atlantic Records, both owned by Warner Music Group, one of the big daddies. Williams was separately signed to Atlantic as she was scouted when she was a teenager. She is also the only member to appear on all 6 of Paramore's studio albums, which sort of tells you a little bit of the rest of their history. So This Is Why is their first album release in, I believe, 6 or 7 years. So After Laughter being released in 2017. It'll be interesting to see how they've evolved since then, given the fact that Hayley Williams has released 2 solo albums in that span of time. And on that note, I would highly recommend going and checking out both of those albums. There is Petals for Armor, which was released in 2020, and then the follow-up to that, Flowers for Vases, released February of 2021, which is a great album, and I'd highly recommend that. But what we're all here for. So we have the opening of the clip featuring lead vocalist Hayley Williams here. Very relatable to someone like me, a musician who at many points I have been stuck looking for ideas, just nothing coming to me. So very relatable.
Said I was gonna take some flowers to my neighbor, but I ran out of time.
Alright, have to stop it here, of course. We're about 40 seconds in and we're introduced to 2 new characters, a drum kit man and wacky looking sort of Tiesto style guitar man with legs. Very interesting. I like it.
Intentions only get you so far.
Okay, so we've got Hayley. She has jumped inside a guitar case, and it looks like it's taken very heavy influence from something like Alice in Wonderland, particularly Tim Burton's film. As for the music, very nice use of guitar effects, modulation, and some nice reverb on the guitars there. In the intro, we've just gone into what sounds like it's going to be a bit of a pre-chorus section. Let's see how this goes.
No.
Nice, so we got the chorus there, really big, punchy, very cool, I like that. And again, we're back to that sort of Tim Burton style. Ooh. That was nice. So we're in verse 2, and sort of right at the end of verse 2, there's this little transition period between verse and pre-chorus where we've heard the same chords used throughout verse 1, but that little transition section where they add some extra colors in, particularly with the guitars and the effects that they've used. So that's really cool. And there's definitely reinforcement emphasis with the vocals. So I like that. Very nice touch. Again, very big influence by Tim Burton, I feel. I mean, you got the person back there trimming hedges, very indicative of Edward Scissorhands. So sounding like we're into the bridge section now. Very similar chord progression, chord structure that we've heard previously, but now the guitar effects featuring much more heavily, much more experimental modulation sort of sounds. I have to stop it there. What a great drum beat. So good. Bit different to what we've heard in the rest of the song, but sort of pushes the song along, gives it a bit of a different feel, which is cool. Nice. Very classic technique used here when it comes to songwriting, production in particular, where when we transition from the bridge section into the chorus, where for the first bar or two, 99% of the instrumentation sort of drops out and just you're left with, you know, one particular instrument. In this particular instance, it's the electric guitar carrying through that same chord progression which we've heard previously. But what it does is that as we've slowly built up out of the bridge, it kind of brings things back into reality, but also back down dynamically. And it helps reinforce the punchiness, particularly of this chorus, and it does a pretty good job of it. Nice. So finishing off there with a double chorus, and another great technique which they've used, particularly when it comes to when writing for a double chorus ending, is that second reiteration, the repeat of the chorus, slowly adding in other little textures. In this case, again, the guitar featuring heavily with very heavy modulation effects on there. And what it does is it gives you that familiar sound that you've heard previously in other choruses, but it keeps things interesting, which is exactly what you want to do. You don't just want to copy and paste the same chorus again just to lengthen out the song. You want to make it be continually interesting, which is sort of what this song has done throughout. It's added these little hints of textures here and there, particularly using the guitar with various modulation effects, which is really cool. And we're ending off.
You ready? Yeah, sorry.
With a little clip showing that it was all a dream. All right, so what do you guys think of Paramore's return with Running Out of Time and their new album, This Is Why? Is it the Paramore that you remember? Is it the Paramore that I remember? Yes and no. I guess song structurally, it's pretty similar to a lot of their songs, especially when it comes to the dynamic builds and rises and dropping back down. But as for the overall sound, it's definitely new, which I think is what a lot of bands, especially for this age, it's something that's still familiar, but it's a progression of their sound. And I think if you go and listen to the two albums that Hayley Williams has released between the previous Paramore album and this new one, I think you'll find there's a lot of those more experimental influences, which I feel she's brought here to the table. But that chorus definitely still has that really big impact, which they're definitely well known for. So I enjoyed it. I'm interested to listen to the rest of the album, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Are you liking the return of Paramore? Do you think Hayley Williams should have just keep releasing solo albums, maybe featuring the band members of Paramore? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so that's it for today. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and new videos coming soon.